Let's talk about sexual assault.
Let's.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is? Is this appropriate?
That is not, unfortunately.
I gave
They
gave consent. So it's
Then yeah, totally okay. If you get consent.
But let's say that he was a cosplayer and he was at a public event showing maybe revealing clothing and did not give me consent, and I went up and did this.
Nope. Cosplay is not consent.
bad.
Cosplay is not
Cosplay
consent.
does not mean that you can touch me in a
What is the incident in question here, Timmy?
Now allow me to elaborate. As I recently returned from Combo Breaker, on the final day, everybody gathered for a picture from the stage, and you can see footage of this. There's footage of it online, where there was an incident that occurred. I'm not naming names. I don't care to throw shade at the guy. Obviously, he's fucked enough as it is. But after the picture was taken, everybody stands up to disperse, and said, gentlemen decided now is like a really good time to grab that girl's butt. And she didn't look like
that girl, and what was she?
She wasn't dressed provocatively.
Are you being facetious?
No, she wasn't.
I thought you said her butt was exposed.
No, there was that. Like, there was cosplayers there.
Oh,
there was a girl dressed
I thought it was that girl.
No, there was a girl dressed as Cammy. Like, her entire butt was out. Like, 100%.
I thought it was
just
that
basically
girl.
like a G-string. And like, otherwise it was like, oh, that's what your ass looks like.
dressed as Cammy.
Right? This was just like, basically like a random chick was standing there. And like, that was like his opportunity.
She was just like in a t-shirt and jeans.
Right. Now, the person in question, right, has been banned from Combo Breaker for the next 2 years, and they said he'll be up for review to come back to it later. He's been banned from the Capcom Pro Tour, but he also has some priors, right? At one point, I guess he like hit his girlfriend. Another time, there's very well-known footage of him attacking another gamer at a tournament. So he's at a tournament, he loses, somebody said something, and he just goes apeshit on somebody and attacks him.
That's the kind of person you need their picture at the door.
Exactly. Yep. So one guy at security is like, get out. But this is called into question all kinds of like different security issues for different cons, which is essentially all a fight game tournament is. It's a con, right? A bunch of people show up, and there's cosplayers, and there's vendors, and there's booths. There just happens to be a different activity. Instead of standing in line to meet Stan Lee, we're playing a fight game tournament. So a bunch of people are gathering, and there was a very strong female presence there.
Stan Lee's 93, by the way.
Yeah, that's all good for him.
Yeah, it sucks because he's going to die soon.
Yeah.
Come on.
If I can just be real with you.
Oh, it's so sad. Anyway.
But that poses an issue because there was like a really strong female presence there, which you don't typically see in gaming, that's for sure. And there was a lot of them who were there also competing, not just cosplayers. And then I saw a bunch of girls who were posting like on Twitter, and they were like, man, I don't, they were talking about it, and they're like, I don't even know if I feel safe.
What a hostile environment.
And there was some guys that responded to like, yeah, don't dress like that and people won't touch you. And I was like, holy shit. Like,
just maybe don't
be a fucking psycho.
Don't be a creepy raper.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a creepy raper. But that, like, dude is ruining the potential of a lot of growth in the FGC. But also, that's, like, my experience. So what if this is, like, there's a Hearthstone tournament that's maybe the exact same thing, right? Where now that girl doesn't want to go. Or there's a Magic the Gathering tournament, and that girl doesn't want to go. Yep. Because they're like, oh, dudes are...
Or maybe it's just even like Comic-Con, and they don't want to go because there's so many neckbeards that are like, well, let me get my boner by touching your shit.
So what about a stronger security presence? I mean, look at something like San Diego Comic-Con, like the security presence at something.
Well, what's that like? I've never been
to. Well, tell us about San Diego Comic-Con, because the Denver one is really strong.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of security everywhere you look. Security here, security there.
Yeah.
Like, and every door, like it's almost every bathroom, even that you look up, there's a security guard standing there. Maybe we just need a little bit more security. We need to start investing a little bit more into making. I get it. Like, you're a sheltered individual, like,
or maybe
and you
these
feel
fucking
like this is your, like,
neckbeards maybe just need to not do it in the first place, and maybe just
stop
need
being
to,
a bunch of fucking.
Maybe
well, that's the problem.
Just
though,
beat off in your car before you go in.
With any
like
growing community,
they fucking literally can't be next to a woman and not touch them.
But that's the thing.
Like, that just blows my mind.
With any growing community, like, the more people you bring in, like, the more bullshit, the more bullshit's going to filter in as well. For everything positive, there's obviously a negative. It's just how it's. Well, I mean, so we need better security.
Yeah, if you have 100 people, like, one of them's probably like a ridiculous dickbag, right?
It's like going to a metal show. Like, this dude's acting like he's gonna get punched in the fucking face. And
I mean, there's no women at a metal show, so that's irrelevant.
That's not true.
There are totally women.
I can vouch for the fact that there are.
Yeah,
women that would destroy me. I feel uncomfortable. No. I don't know. I think maybe a stronger security force would help.
Right.
Because, like, at least make people feel a little bit better.
When you go to Comic-Con, there's signs everywhere. Yeah. They're like 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide.
Yeah, this is, and it's a
cosplay is not consent.
It says that, and there's security booths fucking everywhere. Every turn there's one. You can run there. If you need help, there's somebody. And
I also feel like, though, at generally people, if you're at a con or a tournament or whatever, and some dude like manhandles your shit, odds are if you just reach out to the person next to you and be like, please help me, someone will be like, what the fuck, dude?
Somebody
You know?
Totally, yeah.
somebody would help you.
You know, it's just like,
And this person, like, he's already got a violent past. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got several assault things on him or whatever. So, like, he's
Just the same. I mean, without, I'm not gonna make excuses for him. Like, honestly, like, dude, fuck you. Like, seriously, you shouldn't be doing. Like, you shouldn't be allowed in social events until you can get your shit straight. Like, there's no way.
now. It's okay. Now, coming from the chat, it's like bringing out my angry feminist with those comments. What comments?
Which
What are you
comments?
talk- What are you talking about,
Fetus says turn up our volume.
Gordy?
Turn me up.
I don't know if you can, but
Oh, with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, with the don't dress like that. Yeah.
kind of excuse
I
is that?
responded to that guy immediately. I was like, no,
Yeah.
that attitude is complete bullshit. That is just not.
That's
okay
the
in
negative
slightest.
attitude that brings a lot of this,
Furthest
to
to the-
fruition. Like, it's bullshit. You
Yeah.
can't. Like, what kind of?
Yeah, there's
are
not
we
even
talking about?
close to a way that you can justify that.
There is no justification.
know?
in that. It's like you cannot fucking do that.
Yeah,
like,
and that
that's
girl
it.
wasn't even dressed like one of the cosplayers. She
Yeah.
was just a girl up front. Like, this was like a big group photo, and it was just like, oh, come on, man, really? Like, that's ridiculous. And people were like, well, maybe she didn't dress like that. I'm like,
I also have to wonder, like, when you're
That's
that
no better
type of
than-
person, that, the grabber,
that mentality.
what's going through their heads? They're like, you know what? If I sexually assault this girl, I bet she fucks me. Like,
I know, right?
What's
Kinda
what are they?
mental.
What's that all about? I have to wonder what's going through the mindset of a person that's like, I think
Yeah.
this will help me. I don't
I'll squeeze her
understand.
butt. She'll come home with me.
Maybe
She's got to.
maybe they
She's just got to.
literally cannot fucking help but be a total.
It's
creep.
possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
And some of these dudes, like I said, they probably just
It's
literally-
like somebody
they
feeding
can't
for a
handle
cigarette
themselves
or anything
Yeah,
else.
they
They're
can't
just
handle
like,
themselves.
"Fuck,
around
I
that.
have to grab. I'm like, well, unfortunately, we got to cut your hands and your dick off now. So
Yeah, those are not usable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Jeff's mentioning, Combo Breaker had zero security.
Really,
The only
is
time
that
there
so?
was a police presence was
that's a little scary.
after this call was made.
Yeah.
Like, I guess this happened after, like, a couple people saw a couple cops walking around with event security. They were specifically looking for the person who was reported here.
said person.
Prior to that, they were like, well, you have to have a pass. You can't go in without a pass, blah, blah, blah.
That doesn't matter.
Dude, you could have just walked right in the
Yeah.
door and competed, and people would have been like, all right, cool, thanks for having you. Like, there was
No kidding.
no security whatsoever.
that's weird. I'm pretty sure Evo's got a pretty hefty amount of security.
Now, Mandalay
Well, that's
Bay
because that's a
is gonna have their
damn
own.
Vegas hotel, so there's security.
The hotel
to begin with.
itself
Yeah.
will have
Yeah,
the
of course.
security.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fuck around in Vegas; they'll kill
No,
you.
and don't get me wrong. Like,
They will-
if there was a fight,
they'll throw you in the fucking river. Man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they'll
like-
fucking kill you.
but like if two people got in a fight or something, it would have been broken up immediately. There was staff all over the place, but there wasn't like gigantic, 6'4" dudes with security taped across their back.
Even then,
But I don't
just-
think
just
it's the
having
kind of
a booth-
environment they thought they needed that.
Right. Just having a booth though, having any kind of small presence where this is where somebody can go to feel safe if they need to. Like
Yeah.
if they need it would help, 110%.
Yeah, especially because
and could ward off Mr. Creeper like, "Hey, there's cameras. You're all being watched and there's security right here."
And this was caught on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, wow, you're guilty. There it
Yeah.
is. Like,
Wow.
and apparently he had like some story where he was trying to justify it, but
he's like,
I don't.
I just saw the succulent booty.
all I can think of is
Unfortunately,
the
there's no justification.
It's the
for that.
gummy Venus de Milo from The Simpsons. But I don't want to talk about him because fuck him. Like, the guy's a complete piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's 3 strikes, you're out. I don't fucking care. And I don't have to worry about running into him at a convention or whatever because he can't even go to him anymore. And if he did, I'm not some girl who's going to get walked over. I'd just beat the shit out of
Yeah.
him. But
I'll take you out
he
myself.
is obviously bringing a lot of negative attention. So, for example, Combo Breaker was listed, like everybody unanimously said, it's like one of the best fighting game tournaments they've ever seen the community put together. End of story. And Kotaku did a huge piece on it.
I hear that it was pretty nice.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
They had a
I don't have much to compare it to, but it
a
was
huge marquee when you walked in and
insane.
everything.
Oh yeah, but Kotaku did a huge piece on it because of this. Not because it was a great positive thing, but in true media fashion, they're like,
That's
let's
media.
talk about the
Let's
negative.
talk about the
thing."
negative, yeah.
Right?
That's-
And
Well,
so definitely, first off, I want to
first
say
of all-
Combo Breaker was a phenomenal experience.
and also I'd like to say that Kotaku sucks dick,
Fuck yeah, they do.
and they only report on. They're like the TMZ of gaming news.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, just sitting around looking for that trash for the day or whatever.
Yeah.
But by doing that, this spreads well outside of the FGC. This spreads into any type of convention type, setting now, where there's gonna be at least a few ladies out there who are like, I don't know if I want to go now.
So here's what it is, like, guys, like, we are just now, like, maybe not just now, but we're growing exponentially. Like, our cons, you know, Comic-Con is one of the biggest conventions in the fucking world.
Yep.
Like, these, you know, Evo is the fucking Super Bowl of fighting game championships. Like, thousands of people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they moved it to Mandalay Bay and the convention center this year. This is no longer the basement of a hotel. Yeah.
Enhance.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Enhance.
Stop. Knock it off. Like, knock it the fuck off. Like, go, like, jerk off in your hotel room if you have
That's
to.
what I was just saying.
That's
Like,
what
jerk
I
off
did.
in the car
Yeah.
before you go in, or buy a fleshlight from Mookie. She'll sell you one. You know? I don't know.
She's got those refurbs 10% off, everyone.
Gross.
we don't need your shit, because, you know, we're gonna fight back. We're gonna fight for what we're trying to make here. Like, and
I also have to
It's
wonder,
such a hard
and
fight
I'm not,
battle, right? To get like your community and your scene
it's
up
so
to that
hard
level.
to get to that level as
Yeah.
it is, and then in
So
one
much
foul swoop,
personal
you know,
investment goes
crush
into that
the rebellion.
by
It's
a small group of people, and then you finally get sponsors, and then that's the media attention.
yeah,
you
and
get.
now the media
Yeah.
attention you get is somebody got groped because there's a fucking psycho in the
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah, well, it sucks. Don't be a pervert, people. If you're watching and you're a pervert, don't
Knock it
grab
off.
chicks.
Yeah, do
like,
it. Do it at home. Do
don't know.
whatever you want at home. But
Yeah.
knock it off.
grab yourself. Be like, if you have an urge, you're like, I need to grab this chick's
If you have
butt.
to grab a butt,
just go into
yeah,
the
you
bathroom,
grab
go
your
into a
butt.
stall,
Grab
grab,
your
your
own
penis,
butt.
and call it a day.
Yeah.
Grab your butt.
And that's what I have to say about that.
You're right.
Adam Ronan approved. Grab your own penis. before-
Super Masu. What's up, buddy?
Okay, and moving on to